Alrighty guys, so we're going to start off with some basic specs about this machine, and at its heart it is still going to be that powerhouse reliable unit that SVL97-2 was. It is still that 97 horsepower, just under 12,000 pounds. It's got an ROC of about 3,400 pounds, and then it's got a tip load of about 9,500 pounds, and you can actually take it up to 9,700 pounds on that tip load with additional suitcase weights in the rear. Kubota's done something really special with a really popular machine that Dash 2 was, and they've listened to you guys and they've made it better in pretty well every way. So we're going to go through a little bit more on that. Alrighty, so before we get into the inside of this machine, we're going to go over a few changes that they made on the outside of the machine. And this probably looks a little bit familiar to you guys if you guys are familiar with the 75-3. They've taken a lot of stuff from that 75-3 and applied it to the 97-3 as well, including the one-piece sealed cab, which is one of the best things they could have done. It's going to be a million times better for operator comfort. It's going to be down to 79 decibels. It's a much quieter cab. It's also going to be able to be cleaner for you guys with it being the one-piece sealed cab instead of the two. There's not going to be as much dust getting through, so it's going to keep your interior much cleaner. Another thing is going to be this coupler guard right here is going to come standard on all of these machines. And then it also has the same wraparound LED headlights that are on the 75-3, which, you know, it is 2025. We should have LED on those things. But jumping into the cab, one of the most special upgrades, I think, to me, is it comes standard with an air ride and heated seat on all 97-3 models, which is something we haven't had before in the heated seat. We've had air ride options, but that has not been a standard option, and definitely not even an option for a heated seat. So on this cold winter nights, that's going to come in real handy. Then we're going to show you guys in a minute. This does have the same 7-inch LCD display screen that 75-3 does, and you're going to retain being able to view all those vitals. It has the built-in backup camera, built-in Bluetooth radio, all kinds of information. Your maintenance log. Maintenance log is personally one of my favorites. It's very nice, very easy to see. And then also what keeps these the same on the controls is going to be Kubota retaining the hydraulic over hydraulic pilot controls, which is one of the best things Kubota does in my opinion, as compared to a lot of other manufacturers have electric over hydraulic. With Kubota's controls, you can be a lot smoother, a lot more precise, and I think it's just better for the user. Alrighty guys, so now moving on to the interior of this SVL97-3. Again, we got the air ride seat right here, which you can hear that compressor working. Very nice, you can adjust to whatever you want. Then back here on the bolstering, you're going to have your switch that you turn your heated seat on with. But just like the 75-3, this does have the adjustable track response. So even though we are hydraulic over hydraulic pilot controls, you do still have the adjustment of quick, mild, and high, I believe, on your adjustments. So you can get this absolutely dialed in for whatever user is using this. Another feature of this is the auto shift feature, which I'm a big fan of. We all know when we have it in high speed and we're going to turn and it wants to bog down and kind of jump on us and it just slows the machine down. This does not do that. When you're in your 2-speed rabbit mode and you go to make a sharp turn, it is automatically going to downshift for you. When you start going again, it's going to upshift for you. It's going to make you a lot more efficient, not have to think about shifting down or shifting up or messing with all that stuff. Another change Kubota has made is their actual hydraulic response on the boom in the curl action. It is much quicker than a lot of other manufacturers out there and much quicker than the 97-2 was as well. So from raising and lowering the bucket to curling and uncurling the bucket, it's a much faster machine, which is only going to make your time at the job site less and less. And the actual speed of this machine is very impressive. It's a very quick feeling machine. But in the actual display, we'll kind of show you some examples here in a minute. You got your built-in backup camera, which is a nice backup camera. And then you also have your built-in Bluetooth radio. You can take calls on, listen to music if you're in here all day. Again, brought up the maintenance logs. You got your duty logs. You can see who logged in, how long they used it on what day. Then you got your live vitals, where you can see tons and tons of live vitals that are important to the machine. And another one of my favorite features is going to be the warning / code reader. If you have a code pop up on this and you don't know what it means, you can go to that warning tab and it will explain what that code means. So you don't have to guess or get a scanner out in the field. You can call your dealer up and say, hey, this is the warning I have, and then you can go from there. But if you guys couldn't tell, this machine is actually on with the AC running. Again, it's a very quiet machine, very, very nice. And then obviously what Kubota is famous for, they did keep the sliding front and rear door, just like that. And then on this specific machine, we do have our hydraulic quick coupler and all that good stuff. So they've made this machine really, really nice. I personally love where the display is. I like that my display is a little bit lower when I'm operating instead of up higher, because it keeps my eyes in the working plane. So that's going to do it for the inside. We can go ahead to the rear. Hey guys, so now moving on to the rear of this machine, it's probably going to look pretty similar. There are some design changes. You know, they changed the scaling back here to black, and they changed some things around. And one thing I'm really appreciative that they did is they moved the reversing camera from the top of the cab to the rear door. As we all know, on the 97-2, the reversing camera positioning left a little to be desired. This is going to give you a much better view of what's going on, and there's a nice metal protector around it too, so we shouldn't have any issues with that. But opening up the door, a big change that they made is in the radiator. Now, at first glance, it may look the same as the 97-2, which did get some complaints, as you would have to unbolt that radiator. It would fold down. Some people didn't like that. So they've changed this up a little. And I'm going to show you in real time how easy this is and what it looks like now. So in just a few seconds and 2 bolts, you can now swing this radiator out and now get into the middle of this engine bay. So instead of having to lean over the radiator, just not being as easily maneuverable, this is going to open up your space a whole lot more. And again, to open this up even more, 4 little bolts right here, pulls your fan off. You have a whole lot of room in this machine. All your batteries right here, right up front, easy access. As we know, batteries can be really hard to find. You got your filters right here on the left. You got your air filter right here. You got your oil fill right up top. Your dipstick, easy access. Everything you're going to need for your general maintenance is going to be right up front, easy to get to. And we'll kind of show you in here a little bit more. But I really, really like this design. Another thing that they didn't do, which I'm glad they didn't, is put the radiator and the cooling system up top. Because as we've seen on some machines this size, they put the whole cooling system on the top. That stacks up really, really high, making this machine really tall in the rear. In fact, about as tall as I am. I am not the tallest guy, let's be honest here. But still, some of these machines and this horsepower range are as tall as I am. When it comes to visibility, it's a hazard. So this, you can look out the rear window, you can see what's going on behind you. It's just going to be a safer option there. But again, the way Kubota did this, I'm a really big fan of. They really thought this one through. So we'll show you guys some B-roll of what this looks like inside, and then just a few more quick little notes for you guys. So now, like I mentioned just a few moments ago, how this machine is not super tall in the rear, which is good for visibility. Just kind of showing you me standing next to it. Again, it's not a tall machine, which is nice. It's going to be safe for you. So now wrapping around here to the side. So just a few points I want to mention. These have opening side panels. So if you have stuff getting down into your boom holes, you can open, there's panels here on both sides, so you can get down there and clean out. There are also hatches underneath of this whole machine that you can unbolt those and remove those hatches as well and clean out from under there. It's going to help keep this machine a lot cleaner, easy access for you guys. This is also a locking depth fill, which is nice to have. Obviously, don't want that stuff being filled with fuel on accident. Moving down to the undercarriages, again, what Kubota retains, very large undercarriages. There's not going to be a whole lot of buildup in there as compared to a lot of other manufacturers. So they're going to be able to keep a lot clearer, which is really nice. And these are grease tension tracks as well. If you go down in the field, all you need is a grease gun, line these things back up, pump full of grease, you're good to go. So one point I want to bring up that I don't feel like it's been talked about enough is that these SVL97-3s are all going to come standard with KSR right here. If you guys don't know what KSR is, that is Kubota Shockless Ride. And what that means is it basically turns your hydraulic cylinders into dampeners. So you have a nice heavy load up here and you want to turn that KSR on. Instead of shaking the whole machine, these arms are going to act as shock absorbers and it's going to be a lot softer on that ride. So paired with your air ride heated seat, the KSR on there, and this all turned on and working, and that's going to make for a very smooth, very quiet, very comfortable ride. So very, very excited to have that on there. That is a super nice feature, and we'll get some footage in there for you to show you guys what I'm talking about. I think a lot of you guys are really going to appreciate that. So that's going to finish up this SVL97-3 walk around and overview video. And as you guys can see, the upgrades Kubota made are pretty awesome. And a price point on this machine is very, very solid. Even with all these upgrades, we still have a very competitive price, and it's probably going to be less than a lot of other manufacturers out there. And Kubota does build this thing top to bottom, so you are always getting that Kubota reliability and longevity. The SVL97-2 is one of the best-selling compact track loaders in the whole country, and I think this is going to do it justice and probably up those numbers a little bit. So come check them out. We're at Kubota Tractor Tri-State, located in Florence, Kentucky, Alexandria, Kentucky, and Augusta, Kentucky. Come see us, and we'll happy to show it to you.